It's a really cool thing.
In this section, we're going to look at practical applications, aka word problems, aka the answer to the question, when am I ever going to use this? Alright, we've already talked about the tickets problems where I actually had to use algebra in a real job that was not teaching algebra. Alright, word problems. Everybody hates them, and I think the reason you guys have trouble with them is because you aren't sure where to start. So I'm going to try and give you this little organizer, a system to go through these problems, to kind of give you a step-by-step process and a way to make these a little bit easier. Alright, so we're gonna fill in these 4 boxes with every problem. What do I know? What information do they give me in the problem? And then what are the unknowns? Find the question mark in the problem. What is it asking you to find? Alright, those are going to be your variables. Alright, then we need to find the 2 key items. These are usually totals. Alright, not always, but if you think of reading the problem and figuring out what are the 2 totals. Are they giving me total price, total number of items, total hours, total whatever? Find the 2 totals in the problem, and you're going to write one equation for total 1 and one equation for total 2. Then you'll have your 2 equations that we can solve. So let's look at some examples. Alright, you and a group of friends decide to raid Walmart's clearance bin, and you're going to have a movie marathon. So in the bin they have DVDs for $2 and Blu-rays for $3. You guys get 5 movies, and you spent $13. So we want to know how many of each kind did you buy. Alright, so let's start with what we know. We know that there are DVDs and there are Blu-rays. We know that DVDs cost $2, Blu-rays cost $3. We bought 5 movies, and we spent $13. That's all the information that we're given. Okay? Then I need to know, what am I looking for? They want to know how many of each kind. So I have DVDs. Alright, the number of DVDs that I bought. That's one thing I need to know. And I also need to know the number of Blu-rays that I bought. So we're going to assign these variables. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to just stick with X and Y, or if you want to use variables related to the objects that you're talking about. I'm just going to go with X and Y. So, the number of DVDs that we bought, we're going to make that X. The number of Blu-rays that we bought, we're going to make that Y. Alright. Then we need the 2 totals. So what are my 2 totals here? I have total number of movies. Alright, I know the total number of movies that I bought. That's 5. And I also know the total amount of money that I spent. Alright, so in this problem we have 2 totals. Total movies, total money. So we're going to write equations for both of these. I want you to write them in words first. Alright, because a lot of times it makes more sense to you if you use words and talk about the actual things instead of just random letters like X and Y. Alright, and it also makes you make sure that you put your variables in the right spot. So for this, I need total movies. Alright, so how am I going to figure out the total amount of movies that I bought? Well, it's going to be the number of DVDs that I bought plus the number of Blu-rays that I bought, and that's going to give me the total movies. Alright, so this is what I mean by word. You don't have to write out like Blu-ray and total movies, but I just want you to do it without numbers or variables. Alright. So the number of DVDs that I bought, well, I don't know, but I assigned it the variable X. The number of Blu-rays that I bought, I don't know, but I assigned it the variable Y. So now I have X plus Y is equal to total movies. Well, I know that I bought 5 movies. So here is one equation for my system. Now I need to write an equation for total money. Alright, how do we figure out total money that we spent? Well, it would be the number of DVDs times the cost of a DVD, right? Plus the number of Blu-rays times the cost of a Blu-ray, and that's going to give me my total amount of money that I spent. Alright. So, number of DVDs, I assigned that the variable X. Alright, the cost of a DVD is $2. We got that from the problem. Alright. Plus the number of Blu-rays, I assigned that the variable Y. times the cost of a Blu-ray, which is $3, and that's equal to the total amount of money, and the total amount of money you spent at Walmart was $13. Alright, I'm going to rewrite this because we don't usually write, when we have multiplication of a variable and a number, we write the number first. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2x plus 3y equals 13. Alright, now I have two equations, so I have my system and I can solve it. I'm going to move this down so I have some more room to work. Oops. Okay, so right there are my two equations. We can solve these any way that we want to. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use substitution. So I'm going to solve this equation for y. Alright, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So now I have y equals 5 minus x. So I'm going to take this and plug it in for y in the other equation. So now I have 2 times x plus 3 times 5 minus x equals 13. And then I'm going to solve this equation for x. Alright, combine my like terms, so I have negative 1x plus 15. Subtract 15 from both sides. Negative 1x equals negative 2. Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. X equals 2. So I have 2 for 1. And then I need to take this 2 and plug it into an original equation. So 2 plus y equals 5. If I subtract 2 from both sides, I have y equals 3. Alright, now, you cannot just leave it as x equals 2, y equals 3. This is a word problem, so we're dealing with real items. Which means that we need to answer the question, how many of each kind did we buy? So DVDs we bought, well, we said DVDs was x, alright, and x is equal to 2. So we bought 2 DVDs. And then Blu-rays, we said that was equal to y, and we found that y is 3, so we bought 2 DVDs and 3 Blu-rays. Alright, just like we did with word problems earlier, you have to make sure this answer makes sense. Would that work? Does that make sense that I bought 2 DVDs and 3 Blu-rays? Yes. If I got a negative number there, I would know that I did something wrong. If I got like 2.5, Walmart doesn't let you cut DVDs in half, so we would have known that we had done something wrong. So make sure that your answer makes sense. Alright, I'm going to walk you through one more example. So this one we have in December of 2004, Shaquille O'Neal scored a season-high 40 points against the Wizards. All his points came on free throws and 2-point baskets, so Shaq was not shooting threes. He made a total of 25 shots, alright, and we want to know how many 2-point baskets and how many free throws. Okay, so let's write down what we know. We know he scored 40 points. He had free throws and 2-point field goals. That's all. Alright, no threes. And he made 25 shots. Alright, so what do we want to know? Well, find your question marks. Alright, number of 2-point baskets and number of free throws. Again, you can use any variables you want. I'm just going to stick with x and y. Alright, so those are the things we don't know, so we assign a variable to them. Then we need totals. What total amounts are we given here? Well, here's a hint. They give you the word right here, so I know we have total shots. Alright, how many total shots did he make? They also give us, you have to look a little bit, but his total points. Alright, because those are not the same thing. So we have total shots and total points. Alright, so over here, let's write an equation for total shots. Alright, well, he had two kinds of shots. So we have 2-point shots plus free throws, and that's going to equal total shots. Alright, so let's put it in an equation form. 2-point shots, we don't know how many, but we assigned it the variable x. We don't know how many free throws he made, but we assigned it the variable y. And we know that he made 25 total shots. So those two things have to add up to 25. Then his total points. Alright, for points, he gets 2 times the number of 2-point shots he made. Right? Because every shot he makes is worth 2 points. And then he gets 1 times the number of free throws that he made, because those are only worth 1 point. And that's going to equal his total points. So when I rewrite this as an equation, I have 2 times the number of 2-point shots, which we said is x. Then I have 1 times the number of free throws, which we said is y. And that's equal to his total points, which is 40. Alright, now I have my 2 equations and I am ready to solve. Okay, I am going to solve this one by, let's do elimination this time. So I'm going to write them right underneath each other. Okay, and I need opposites. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply everything by -2. Because that would give me -2x here, positive 2x there, so then I can eliminate. So when I do that, I get -2x minus 2y equals -50. Now I'm going to add them together. 2x plus -2x is 0, so they're eliminated. Y plus -2y is -y. 40 plus -50 is -10. So to get rid of this negative, remember that's a -1, so I'm going to divide everything by -1, and y is going to be equal to 10. Alright, so then I have y, I need x, so I'm going to plug it back into this original equation. X plus 10 equals 25. Subtract 10 from both sides, and x is equal to 15. Alright, so that means that he made 15 2-point baskets and 10 free throws, alright, because that's what we got for x and y. Now, let's see if that makes sense, alright. Positive numbers and integers, so we're good there. If he made 15 2-point baskets, that would be 30 points, plus 10 free throws would be 40 points, so we're good there. And then 15 plus 10 would give us our total of 25 shots, so those numbers work. You have a couple more examples there. I want you to give them a try, alright? Even if you can't come up with an answer, you at least need to have the stuff written down in the organizer, so draw the little square thing in your notes and write down as much information as you can. Work through that process. Let me know where you get stuck. Write it down on your paper. Don't rely on your memory so that you can ask questions in class, or you can write them down on the Google form.